Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this brand new day. Yay, a brand new day. Definitely a thumbs up. Hopefully a good day. It was cold until almost noon yesterday. Well, cold to me. I'm getting older, and I'm a lot thinner than I used to be, so my brainstem and all that has reset my base normal body weight at when I was at my heaviest. This happens to everybody. If you gain weight and then lose it, your temperature stuff and all that in your head does not reset. Your body will continuously tell you you are too cold for the rest of your life because you don't have enough fat padding you, so you're colder than you were at the highest, and you're going to be told for the rest of your life you need to put that weight back on so that you can get warm. So I get cold a lot that way, but now I can't even remember where I was going with all of that. So good morning. Thumbs up. I mean, literally, I'm derailed, and that's fine. That's just the way I am today. Last night, before I went to bed, I was feeling weird. My body and mental processes were feeling kind of weird. As if I was trying to say had and was suffering from at the same time, as if I were sick, which I've had that feeling before, so I knew to go, oh boy, especially since I've been trying my best not to be around anyone who's sick. Today I feel fine, but my mental processes are a little foggy still, and I didn't get much actual thinking done yesterday. I did some, and that was good. But, it was just a day, and I didn't remember much, and that's okay, too. I did watch a video this morning, as a quick aside, one of those chubby emu videos about this doctor who talks about stuff. Details altered enough for privacy, patient privacy and all that. But it was about this one gal who would go on fasts to bring her body weight down because she thought that was what she needed to do. Now, there was more going on than just what happened because, she was at like 70% of her ideal body mass. So she was taking exercise and dieting to a massive extreme, which is there's an eating disorder going on. Because she worked it up where she would not eat for a day while still exercising, and then would eat like only for 8 hours in the next day. The rest of the time you can't. So she had issues. There were mental problems with the whole eating disorder thing, and I understand that. I've been anorexic, so I understand eating disorders on a very superficial fashion. I was not anorexic. I've been mildly anorexic for a long time, but only hard anorexic for a very luckily short period of time. So eating disorders happen, but she kept working it up further and further, so she had longer and longer periods where she was fasting, 1, 2, 3 days and more. There is a problem with that. Fasting can be dangerous, and unfortunately in World War II we didn't know about a lot of this stuff. So if you stop eating, your body gets settled down for that state. It goes into starvation mode. And so it's set up to not get in a lot of food. So when you do go back to eating, you have to be super careful. You have to eat small amounts of not very rich food and then build yourself up to that sort of thing. Unfortunately, a lot of the prisoners in World War II camps were so emaciated from so little food that the Allies, feeling just absolute horror and pity, fed them. And refeeding syndrome, as it's known, makes you die pretty quickly from that. So you got to be very careful. So she would, after fasting for a few days, start off with like beef broth and then work her way up to normal eating. And then she went for a full week without eating. and then tried to do what she normally did, thought that she had fixed herself up, and then ate 23 bananas, 10 pounds worth of bananas, and was hospitalized because of it. And if they hadn't figured it out and helped her properly, that would have been it. It would have been checkout time. So you gotta be super careful. And I was really lucky in a bad way, because after my wife died, I ballooned up in weight to like 325 pounds. Part of it was just water weight, because to get over the death of my wife at that time, I was drinking alcohol. A risky plan, but I couldn't feel, or I was going to be destroyed by it. And so I drank until the worst of the feelings were over. By that time, as stated, I went from like 290 to 325. Again, a lot of it calories from the alcohol, and just my body was retaining water, because I can't drink alcohol or my body really fails, because I should have died in the year 2000 from my active alcoholism. I've been sober since then, except for the few times that I've had to do stuff like that or have just fallen. But remember, if you're trying to quit drinking and you're having problems, the shame is not in falling down. We're all human. That happens. The shame is if you don't get back up. And I have always gotten back up. So thumbs up for that. But I picked up some kind of bug, because my glands in my neck, my lymph nodes were just like marbles. And if I ate stuff, 99% of the time it came back up. When I drank water, about 75% of the time, I'd absorb some, of course, I'm still alive, and then the rest of it would come up. I went from 325 pounds to 160. I guess it was because I kept trying to eat, though not being able to hold it down, that kept me going, because I was able to absorb some nutrients, so I didn't have to worry about refeeding. But yeah, it was hard getting back into regular eating when I got down to 160. 160, I am emaciated. I look like something out of a camp in World War II. Not as bad, but you can see my skull and my ribs, like this. You can't see my rib cages plural, much, but if I did that at 160, my skin was stuck to my ribs. And the weird thing is, of course, I look like, I'm very unhealthily thin, cadaverous. And according to the charts in the United States, that's my ideal weight. But the charts are used for insurance purposes, and so they skew weirdly, because they don't want anyone getting heavy, because if you get heavy, there's health problems, and they don't want to pay for health problems. So if you get too heavy, this stuff drops off, so the charts skew weirdly. And at 160, like I say, it's not healthy. I need to be up around 180, 100 and so, like that. I got a good thing going. But right now I'm around 200. Life is life. Still though, I don't eat much even now. Generally what I eat during the day is, these days, I just have yogurt during the day. And then my one real solid meal, and this is low calorie, high fiber yogurt. It's Greek type yogurt, but it uses stevia as the sweetener, so it's like no extra calories, and it's got chicory root fiber in it, so it's got a whole bunch of fiber. And so I eat a fair amount of this type of yogurt, and they're only 100 calories per cup, and 1 cup fills me up. So I'll eat 2 or 3 of those during the day, and then I'll have one real meal at one point. It might be early in the morning, like 9 o'clock. I'll have like mashed potato mix and with a handful of cheese, sometimes a half a can of chili in that, and then that'll be my one real meal. Some days I don't have a real meal. Some days I buy junk when I go down to Safeway because I'm a human being. I still occasionally buy the baked good stuff. I still buy things like potato chips, and I'll occasionally, though I really know it's bad, hokey smokes. Sugar is high, processed sugar is one of the worst things you can eat. Terrible for your body. One of the major causes of heart disease, sugar, and sugar is in everything. And I'll still, like last night, I bought a bag of peppermint candies. Not a big bag, it was $1 bag. I ate it all. That was a busload of sugar. That's not healthy. So I get calories, small amounts, and then a big meal. Which the big meal, again, might be something healthy, might be just, donuts and a bit of candy. You never know. So I get calories too many, because if I eat any more than what I do, I'm gonna gain weight. My body is very reactive that way. So if I eat any more than I do, I'm gonna gain a lot of weight. I still go out walkies. I used to go to Walmart on a 6-mile round trip every night. But when I got back, because it took about 2 hours, when I got back, frequently, because of the muscles overworking, and overworked is defined by all that would inflame the nerves in my spine and down my leg, the sciatic nerve. And when I got back after that, I frequently would not even be able to sit here, just because I would have anxiety and pain and restless leg stuff, so I had to go to bed. So it was just 6 miles in one trip is too much at the end of a day. I can sometimes do it in the beginning of the day, and then I'll be fine because I haven't had all day irritating my nerves by doing stuff. But generally I go walkies at the later part of the day, anywhere from like 5 o'clock on. So usually around 7-ish, I'll head on out. There was a shorter route in town I was walking. It's about 3 miles, so it was about half the distance, and I didn't like that, not long enough. So I make this loop in southern Shelton that adds about 1.3 miles to it. So generally, if I take that path, roughly that path, it's about a 4.5 mile trip. And then I do that every single day. So I've been walking every single day like that for a couple of years now. And I got a fair amount of lean muscle in my legs. My cardiovascular system is doing well. My breathing is doing well. All of these within functional limits of my age and my allergies, cannabis use, and etc. The thing about cannabis use, of course, the difference between, another one of the huge differences between like cigarette smoking and cannabis smoking. One of the big health issues is why it's so hard for you to heal if you get cuts, and why they say please don't smoke for a couple days after surgeries of any kind, like dental work and all that, is because tobacco smoke and nicotine is a vaso and bronchoconstrictor. Your blood vessels tighten up so that cells get less. The air vessels in your lungs shrink up, so it's harder to get oxygen. When you smoke, you get less blood and less oxygen to the parts of your body that really need it. Like your heart, like when you're trying to heal, like your breathing, like your brain. Yeah, all the dilating is not good for you. Dilating, constricting. You get tighter, that's constricting. Now, cannabis smoking, on the other hand, that is a vaso and bronchodilator. When you partake in any fashion of a cannabis product, your blood vessels open up so the blood flows more freely through your systems. It is also a bronchodilator. It does open up your lung passages. which is good because you're inhaling smoke if you're smoking of it, and that's not good for your lungs, and your lungs want to tighten up, but the chemicals are saying open up and relax, and so they open up. And that's good too right there. So yeah, that's one of the reasons the walking every single day that my pulse is right around 55. It's gone up to between right around 55 and 60 because I take the ADHD meds. Excuse me. But my pulse is low. So when I eat something or I'm sick and my pulse goes up, I know something's going on. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab, and I know that something happened yesterday. I don't know if it's me or it's YouTube, but both of my videos yesterday combined, the views are less than one of my videos usually gets. So I don't know if it's me or if it's YouTube, but oh boy, yesterday was not good. There are only about 8, maybe maximum commenters, but I'm going to go through and thank every single one of the people that did so, up to 25. So we shall see. I am not sure how many, but as stated, it ain't much. So there's Lucas White, thumbs up. Erco, AERCO, thumbs up and thank you. Alejandro Pina, I sure hope I'm close. And then GGZSK, greatly appreciated. That's always good to know. I've been playing a long time and I didn't even know that. Andrew Rafferty, thumbs up. Robert B, greatly appreciated. Aiden Schultz, thumbs up and thank you. Boo, with a smile. Oh, look at this. Then there's N3 Yuki. Actually 9. Oh, 10. Holy smokes. Ben Gaming, thank you so much. And then there is Pa, and then it looks like L4K, thumbs up. Grim Gamer 469, greatly appreciated. Tover F, thumbs up and thank you. Jesus Mario, I sure hope I'm close. Ice Damon, greatly appreciated. 14 people, thank you so very, very much, each and every one of you. Whether you left a comment or not, I thank each and every one of you for having watched my videos. But for those that did leave comments, thank you so much. You took the time, you expended the calories. It is appreciated. Definitely a thumbs up on that. If you could check out my various links down below, I have Twitter, Facebook, Patreon.com, and if you could become a Patreon.com patron, like one of these people on this soon-to-be updated list, that would be both beautiful and awesome, just like these people. And if you'd like to help me out without sending money to the patronage, I have a PayPal link down below. If you'd like to help me out without sending money at all, I have an Amazon wishlist link as well. Now, do not feel obligated because I do not feel entitled. And if you cannot donate or you simply do not donate, I take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest. So thank you very much. Yeah. Just salivating so much around my dentures this morning. If you could toss me a like, I appreciate all the positive validation you get from my existence. Definitely a thumbs up, and of course, if you could hit the notification bell on the subscription button, that would be very cool. Definitely a thumbs up as well. So, Hokey Smokes, try to be as creative as you can. Try to stay as positive as you can. Also, try to be as safe as you can. This bug is still raging around the world. It is nowhere near over, and it's starting to surge again, of course, everywhere. So be careful. Get vaxxed if you can. Just a good idea. Wear a mask. Maintain your social distancing around people. Wash your hands. Try not to touch your face, and just be safe. Be smart. There are lifelong complications from this thing. You don't need to be fighting that. So you take care. Have a great day today. We'll see you on the flip side, and that is a very good thing.